In 18 hours, an entire city vanished under 60 feet of volcanic ash. 20,000 people gone. But here's what makes it different from every other disaster in human history. The ash preserved them. When archaeologists poured plaster into the voids left by decayed bodies, the dead returned, not as skeletons, as people, frozen mid-scream, still reaching for help that never came. This is Pompeii, August 24th, 79 AD, the day the world ended for an entire civilization. You can see their faces. A mother bent over two children, arms wrapped around them in a final embrace. A man on his knees, one hand reaching forward, mouth open, trying to breathe. A pregnant woman on her side, a dog twisting on its chain. These aren't statues, these are moments. The exact instant death arrived, frozen in volcanic glass. But here's what makes it worse. They had time, 17 hours between the first explosion and the pyroclastic surge that killed them. 17 hours to escape. Most of them wasted it. They didn't understand what was happening. Nothing like this had happened before in human memory. They didn't even have a word for volcano. It would be invented later to describe what happened here. Let me take you back to the last normal morning, to the moment everything changed. August 24th, 79 AD, morning. Pompeii wakes to paradise. A summer day on the Bay of Naples, blue water, golden sun. The air smells like bread and salt. This is a city of 20,000 people living in luxury, vacation homes for wealthy Romans, bathhouses with heated pools, theaters, brothels, wine shops on every corner. The fish sauce produced here, garum, is so valuable it's exported across the empire. This is the good life, everyone knows it. Marcus Vonius Primus owns a bakery on the Via dell'Abbondanza. He's been up since before dawn. His ovens are hot. 4 slaves work the grindstones, flour dusting their arms white. Outside his door, the city is waking up. Vendors setting up in the forum. A prostitute leaning against a column near the brothel. A dog asleep in the shade. Marcus is making bread. He doesn't know he's making it for the last time. Behind the city, Mount Vesuvius rises like a wall. Green slopes covered in vineyards, farms, villages. It's been there forever. Stable, safe. The soil is rich because of it. That's why the wine tastes so good. That's why everything grows here. No one knows it's a volcano. The word doesn't exist yet. Around noon, the ground trembles. Not much, just a shiver running through the stones. Marcus steadies a stack of bread baskets. Nothing serious. Pompeii gets earthquakes. 17 years ago, a big one damaged half the city. They rebuilt. Life went on. But watch the animals. Dogs start barking all over the city, howling, trying to run. Horses refuse to move, eyes rolling white. Birds take flight in massive flocks, darkening the sky, fleeing south. The animals know something humans don't. The mountain is waking up. 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Vesuvius explodes. The top of the mountain blows off. Just gone. In its place, a column of superheated gas and pulverized rock shoots 12 miles into the sky, 12 miles, from sea level to the edge of space in seconds. The sound is like thunder that never stops. It's everything thunder should be and more, continuous, deafening, drowning out thought. Marcus drops the bread he's holding. Everyone runs outside. The whole city pours into the streets, everyone staring up at the impossible thing above them. The column looks like a pine tree, a massive trunk of ash with branches spreading at the top. Beautiful, terrifying, unreal. Then the ash starts falling. White pumice stones, light as foam, drifting down like snow, hot to the touch but not burning. People brush them off their shoulders. Some laugh nervously. Children try to catch them. It's strange, unsettling, but not deadly, not yet. The pumice doesn't stop. Minutes pass, ankle deep. An hour knee deep. The stones keep falling and falling. The sky stays black. The column keeps growing. The sound never stops. Now the panic starts. Roof tiles crack under accumulating weight. Awnings collapse. The streets fill with people shouting, arguing, trying to decide. Do we stay? Do we run? Where do we run? The roads are already buried. The port is choked with ash. Ships can't move. People can't move. Marcus makes his choice. he'll wait it out. His bakery is solid stone, thick walls, strong roof. He sends his slaves to the back rooms, tells them to cover their heads. He soaks blankets in water from the fountain. Maybe if they breathe through wet cloth, the ash won't choke them. 6 hours pass. The pumice is waist deep. Darkness comes early. The ash column blocks the sun. It's midnight at 4 in the afternoon. The only light comes from lightning crackling through the eruption column above. Purple, white, constant. Some families make the choice to run. They flee into the countryside through chest-deep pumice in pitch darkness, stumbling, falling, getting back up, running blind. Others stay. They barricade themselves in the strongest rooms of their houses. The House of the Faun, one of the wealthiest estates in Pompeii, becomes a tomb. The owners retreat to an inner room, lock the doors, wait for dawn. Dawn never comes. By midnight, real midnight, the pumice is 8 feet deep. Roofs collapse all over the city. The weight is too much. Marcus hears the grinding crack of buildings giving way in the darkness. Screams, then silence. He huddles with his slaves in the back room. The ceiling beams are creaking. He knows the bakery won't last much longer. He doesn't know it doesn't matter. 1 o'clock in the morning, the eruption column collapses. For 12 hours, it's been holding together through sheer upward force, but that force weakens. The column becomes unstable, and when a 12-mile-high column of superheated gas and rock becomes unstable, it falls. This is called a pyroclastic surge, a cloud of gas and ash at 500 degrees Fahrenheit, moving at 100 miles per hour, racing down the mountain like water, but this water burns everything it touches. 1:30 a.m., the first surge hits Pompeii. It flows over the buried city in a wave. Marcus never knows what kills him. The heat stops his heart instantly. His last breath sears his lungs. He's dead before he falls. The slaves die with him. The wet blankets mean nothing. The stone walls mean nothing. The ash buries them where they drop. The surge passes in seconds. But 6 more are coming. Over the next 6 hours, surge after surge rolls down from Vesuvius, each one hotter than the last. They fill every street, every room, every space where people thought they were safe. Bodies are flash-heated, flesh boiling, brains exploding from steam pressure inside skulls. Some die curled into balls, others with arms raised, trying to shield faces from heat they can't see. In the House of the Faun, the family dies behind their locked door. The surge seeps through cracks like smoke. One breath, that's all it takes. At the Stabian baths, people huddle in the changing room. The surge finds them. Their bodies will be discovered centuries later, exactly as they fell, reaching for each other. On the Street of Tombs outside the city walls, families who fled die running. A mother clutches her child. A man shields his face. The ash buries them mid-stride. By dawn on August 25th, Pompeii is gone. Not destroyed, erased, buried under 20 feet of volcanic material. The city that woke up yesterday morning no longer exists. 20,000 people, gone, most never made it out. Their bodies are entombed in ash that hardens into rock. But here's the thing that makes Pompeii different from every other disaster. The ash preserved them. When a body is buried in hot ash, the soft tissue decays, but the ash hardens around it, creating a perfect mold, a void in the shape of a human being, every detail captured, the folds of clothing, the curve of a spine, the expression on a face. In 1860, an archaeologist named Giuseppe Fiorelli realizes what these voids are. He has an idea: pour plaster into the cavities, let it harden, chip away the surrounding rock. And the dead return. Not as skeletons, as people, frozen in their final second. You can see everything. A pregnant woman on her side, knees drawn up. A dog twisting against its chain. A man sitting with his hands over his face. The folds in their clothing are visible. The expressions on their faces, the exact posture of death. Near the marine gate, 13 people huddle together. A family. You can see the father, arms wrapped around them. The mother bent over 2 small children. They died as a unit, together, trying to protect each other from something they couldn't fight. There's a man near the Garden of the Fugitives, on his knees, one hand reaching forward, the other clutched to his chest. He looks like he's trying to crawl, trying to breathe. His mouth is open. Even in plaster, you can feel his panic. And the bread, in Marcus Vonius Primus's bakery, still in the oven, carbonized but intact, 81 loaves marked with his stamp. These aren't artifacts, these are moments, the last second before everything ended. And here's what haunts archaeologists. Pompeii was completely forgotten. For 1700 years, no one knew it existed. The city was buried so completely that later civilizations built farms over it, raised families, planted crops, living on top of a mass grave and never knowing it. In 1748, someone digging a well breaks through into a buried building. They don't understand what they've found, not at first. They think it's just old Roman ruins. Italy is full of those, but as they dig deeper, they realize something is wrong. The buildings are too intact, too complete. This isn't a ruin, this is a city, frozen, waiting. They'd found Pompeii, a perfect time capsule from the Roman Empire. We know more about daily life in Pompeii than almost anywhere else in the ancient world, not because of temples or monuments, because of tragedy. We know what they ate for their last meal, fish bones and olive pits found in trash heaps. We know what graffiti they wrote on walls, love confessions, insults, crude jokes. We know the names of their favorite gladiators, scrawled next to hearts and drawings. On August 24th, 79 AD, someone painted "Successus was here" on a wall in the Forum. Successus didn't make it out. Today, you can walk the streets of Pompeii. The ruts from wagon wheels are still visible in the stone, deep grooves worn by thousands of carts over hundreds of years. The stepping stones placed so pedestrians could cross streets without walking through waste, still there, exactly where they were placed 2,000 years ago. The brothel, painted advertisements on the walls showing services available, still visible. The bars, counters worn smooth by elbows, by hands holding cups of wine. The theaters, the baths, the forum, all frozen at 1:30 a.m. on August 25th, 79 AD. But it's the bodies that stop you cold. Because when you see them, you realize something. These weren't ancient Romans, not abstractions from history books. They were people, they worried about money, they fell in love, they cheated on their spouses, evidence scrawled in angry graffiti on walls. They had favorite foods, they hated their neighbors, they wanted their children to have better lives. And on one August morning, they woke up in paradise. By midnight, they were dead. Vesuvius is still active. It looms over modern Naples, 3 million people. The volcano last erupted in 1944. Small eruption, minor damage, but it's due again. Overdue, actually. Geologists monitor it constantly, every tremor measured, every gas emission analyzed. When it erupts again, and it will be catastrophic. The difference is we know what's coming. The people of Pompeii had no warning, no science, no word for what killed them. They died trying to understand, died confused, died afraid. But they didn't die forgotten. Every year, millions of people walk through Pompeii. They see the bread, the graffiti, the bodies, and for a moment, 2,000 years collapse. We're standing in the same streets, under the same mountain, breathing air warmed by the same Mediterranean sun. The dead of Pompeii are still here, still reaching for help that never came. And the mountain watches, silent, patient, waiting for its next breath.